This week on Most Craved.
All Star Wars, all the time.
How do you fix a franchise?
And speaking of franchises, is Frozen becoming a franchise?
He directed Frozen.
The good one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Most Craved. I'm William Bibiani with Crave Online.
I'm Jenna Bush with Legion of Leia.
And I'm Silas Lesnick with ComingSoon.net.
And joining us is director Adam Green, his new film, Digging Up the Marrow. When is it coming out? Is it out now? Or
February 20th in
February
theaters and VOD.
Can you tell us a little bit about that movie? Because you know Adam from his films Hatchet and Frozen, the other Frozen. What is this new one?
This new one is a monster movie that is a really weird blend between reality and fantasy, where I actually play myself, and everybody in it kind of plays themselves except for one character. And a guy sends me a package claiming that monsters are real and he can prove it, and we start making a documentary and following him around. So it's a weird movie because a lot of it is actually real. So we don't know what to call it. It's not a found footage movie. It's not really a mockumentary because so much of it's real. So we've been calling it a manipumentary. Like it's
Ooh, I like that word.
manipulated documentary.
I like that. I like that.
But it's based and inspired by the art of Alex Pardee, who's one of my favorite living artists. And so the monsters just look amazing and like nothing you've ever seen. Spoiler, there's monsters.
Monsters are real?
I think they're real.
Neat.
I've always wanted them to
I think
be
there's a
real.
monster inside all of us.
There is.
Ooh.
Yeah. But we should talk about the monster inside various franchises. Good segue.
David Koepp has an article in Empire talking about how he believes the way to save Spider-Man is to do different versions of Spider-Man, to have a kid-friendly version of the character, have an adult one, and those all can come out in the same year, that we're past the point where people will be confused.
Yeah. Yeah, no, what I love about this is David Koepp obviously wrote the original Spider-Man, and he doesn't seem to have control over the franchise now, but he has ideas about how he wants to fix it, and I think we all have favorite franchises that we want to fix. I am tired of what Die Hard has become. I think we've entirely missed the point of Die Hard, which was, here's a guy who is completely outside of his comfort zone, shouldn't really be able to do the task set in front of him, killing terrorists because he's just a normal cop, and now he's just a Superman. So I'd like to see just getting rid of John McClane altogether and just starting off with another, normal schlub hero out of his depth. I don't know. What do you think? Is there a franchise, as a director, is there a franchise you want to take over and put your stamp on?
I think especially speaking about like the horror genre, because that's where I work, I think that Halloween could really stand to be put back on track again. I think that once we got to part 5 and part 6 and the whole cult with the thorn, and it's like, the problem is I feel like the people making decisions a lot of the times feel like they have to switch it up and that people are getting sick of it. But they're not necessarily getting sick of it. Like, look at Friday the 13th. It's like, well, we don't want to just see him at a summer camp again. Let's send him to Manhattan. And that was not good. So
He doesn't even get to Manhattan until the end anyway.
Right. And I think with Halloween, now that we've had the Rob Zombie versions, which, whether you like them or not, that was his thing, and it's kind of like a standalone Rob Zombie version of Michael Myers. So I always defend those films. But now, if we could just have a good Michael Myers movie again, and you could fix it by in the first few minutes, just having like a bunch of girls at a sleepover, talking in Haddonfield, talking about different ghost stories, and one of them says, "Do you know about the boogeyman?" And you could sum up everything that you need to know in 30 seconds. And then in the opening credits, if you're going to show like Dr. Loomis, or show Donald Pleasance and show, and bring back the original mask.
Yes, please.
And then just have Michael Myers show up, because you never know on Halloween if he's going to come back or not, and make him a little bit more of a mystery again.
Urban legend.
But that's why he was so scary. It was this unfeeling, unexpressionless mask, and the backstory of being a kid who just stared at the wall for 15 years, waiting for this moment. Why is he evil? Don't explain it. And then you could keep going and going and going. As long as you have inventive kills and a good script and good actors, the fans will be there and they'll love it.
Yeah, I totally agree. For me, it would be Doctor Who. I know that I get some backlash on this stuff, but this season it's really funny because everybody seems to love Peter Capaldi. They love Jenna Coleman. And
I don't.
Well, I know you don't.
I think
but
this is the best season of modern Doctor Who there
I
has
really
been.
don't like it. I don't like it. I'm bored to death. And honestly, I think I'm getting sick of Moffat, and I'm getting sick of his misogynistic stuff. And I think they need a new showrunner. I really think
Just
they need
flat.
a
That's the big
flat out
difference.
showrunner. I mean, look, I'd love to see a female Doctor, but I don't need that. Doesn't have to happen. I love Peter Capaldi. I think he's really cool. Like they could have a new companion. That's fine. But ultimately, the things that have been bothering me over the past season and a half, they're all Moffat.
Yeah. Silas, anything you want to take a crack at if you could?
Yeah, Star Trek would be the one that I would love to see head back to television. There's no reason you couldn't do Star Trek like they're doing Marvel's Netflix series. You could have Klingon history. I've said before, Klingon Game of Thrones. I do think it's interesting that this summer we're seeing in DC and Marvel these two crossovers that are all about parallel universes and simultaneous continuities.
In the comics, you mean?
In the comics,
Yeah.
but I think outside of fiction, even one of the most important lessons that like humanity can learn is that all continuities are valid and important, and what matters to you is just as valid as anything else.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys feel about the idea of Frozen getting a new short film? The other Frozen. Getting a new short film and possibly turning into a franchise. Like, that seemed like a done-in-one film to me.
It's inevitable. I mean, it's not.
Think?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
I mean, look.
what if the Lion King? No, I guess the Lion King got sequels. Never mind.
Yeah, everything gets sequels. No, I mean, really, like this was so unbelievably popular. I already have the song in my head. I'm not even going to say it. But don't sing it. Don't sing it. Don't.
I'll let it go.
Aw, so close. But yeah, there was no way this isn't getting a sequel.
I don't know, like, where do you even think it goes from here? Do you think they, like, team up with their ice superpowers and fight Jafar? Like, I don't want to know, is it become like Kingdom Hearts? Like, I don't, that's the only thing I can think
I
of,
would
and it's
watch
probably
Kingdom
my
Hearts.
limited
I
imagination.
just have such faith in Disney, and
Yeah?
I do. I really, really do. And I go to Disneyland every year on my birthday. I have the annual pass. I go actually probably whenever I can. And even though I know how they're just like sucking money out of my bank account, and it's I don't care. Like, I buy into the whole thing. And if you ever go and stay there, which, living in Southern California, not many people do that. They go for the day and they go home. But if you stay there and stay in like the Disneyland Hotel, I don't know if you've ever done that.
No, never.
The headboard, when you go to bed at night, there's a little button you press, and it lights up with fireworks, and it plays like a music box version of When You Wish Upon a Star. If you don't fall for that, and then the fireworks display at night when they have every character saying, I wish I was a boy, I wish I could fly, I wish I could, and you look at these children's faces thinking that they can do anything. I mean, you leave very invigorated. And I love almost every Disney movie. So whatever they're gonna do with it, I have faith. Like, I don't need to necessarily figure it out. Plus, the more Frozens they make, the more my movie keeps selling by mistake. So keep making them, Disney. I want to see Frozen 10.
I want to see a lot of 8-year-olds seeing your
Frozen 10.
dying on a ski lift movie. And lastly, we've got some potential Star Wars news.
Yeah. Okay. So Felicity Jones from Theory of Everything, it is rumored to be in the new spin-off Star Wars movie from Gareth Edwards. Tatiana Maslany was also talked about from Orphan Black.
Because that's what Star Wars needed, more clones.
I love that. Let's
Thank
high
you.
five. And we're also looking at Edgar Ramirez and Aaron Paul. We don't know what this is about yet. It's
Are there any
Aaron
rumor?
Paul in Star Wars?
just
I have the Force, bitch! Really?
This is the Gareth Edwards ones, which is rumored to be about plans to steal the original Death Star plans just before
like a heist
New
movie.
Hope.
That'd be neat.
I think if
like
if
that.
that rumor is true, I think that would be pretty cool. I'm totally fine with Felicity Jones. I'm totally fine with everybody, but no one really knows what this all is yet. I mean, people have been talking about Boba Fett movie and all of this. So
Oh, if Felicity
Who knows?
Jones is Boba Fett, I'm totally down.
Well,
I
it's
would
super
buy that.
cool to hear that like she seems to be the lead, that she's the 1st person being cast. So we have a Star Wars movie with a female lead. I would presume, I mean, just complete speculation, that it's some sort of bounty hunter, like dark side, not dark side, but dark side of the law.
Yeah.
I like the dark side
Anti-hero
of the law.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I will see anything Felicity Jones is in. First of all, if you're watching this, I love you. And I also call me. What I would really like to see, though, is those horror books that came out, like Death Troopers and Red Harvest. Why don't they make like a lower budget genre division for Star Wars, like a $20 million and less to make these movies, and make like horror movies using the universe and the characters? I understand it's for families and children, but make some that are for adults, that are like R-rated super. I mean, the Darth Maul one was amazing. When Darth Maul like fought a Wampa.
Yep.
Like I need to see that.
Do you have any directors in mind to take on these Star Wars horror movies, Adam Green?
I mean, I'm available. And I made that short saber that George Lucas loved, and I got 2 awards for it. So yeah, hook me up with Death Troopers and or anything. Really, I'll work for free.
All right, that's it for Most Craved. Everybody, thank you for watching. Tell us what you think about the Star Wars casting, Frozen franchises. We hope to see you Digging Up the Marrow. Adam, once again, when is that coming out? When can they see this?
February 20th in theaters and VOD.
Awesome. Thank you. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you next time.